I recently sat down with the two men who are frontrunners to be St. Pete's leader for the next 4 years, current Mayor Rick Kriseman and former Mayor Rick Baker. And actually, they agree on a lot of things, including their cheerleading for the Rowdies to advance to Major League Soccer and see the Rays get a new home in downtown St. Pete.
I'd like to work to continue to try to keep the Rays in St. Pete.
We're capable of supporting two teams, no question.
But here's the reality check. The Rays have complained for years about not enough corporate support or population base in St. Pete.
We need to be in a place that makes us attractive to the region's businesses and community. For this franchise to thrive, it needs to have the support of the business of Tampa Bay.
So is St. Pete really booming the way the two candidates claim? Enough for two major league teams and two newly funded stadiums to thrive, with two others just across the bay? According to Forbes sports business writer Mari Brown, no.
People have limited discretionary income. You know, some people will be able to go to both or two or three. Some will only have to pick and choose, and so someone's going to wind up losing in this game.
Which means the next mayor of St. Pete may ultimately help the city decide if it's going to be a Major League Baseball town or a Major League Soccer town. And it's interesting where the two teams are putting their political money. Baker, who has spent the majority of his time since leaving City Hall as an employee of Bill Edwards, the owner of the Rowdies, collected $50 grand in his political action committee from his boss. Meanwhile, current Mayor Kriseman collected more than $30 grand in his PAC from 6 Rays investors, including principal owner Stu Sternberg. Now, neither candidate indicated he had a preferred team, and they both talk a good game on responsible stadium subsidies.
And the city of St. Petersburg is not going to raise property taxes.
I'm not in favor of any tax increases for the stadium.
But Kriseman showed more of a willingness to put existing tax dollars toward a Rays stadium, dollars that could pay for things in St. Pete like roads, sewers, or police. He's also shown a desire to redevelop the Trop sooner rather than later, when he cut that deal to let the Rays look for a possible new home outside the city.
It allowed us to start planning for what's going to be on that Tropicana Field site with or without a team.
Baker has deflected direct questions about Rays negotiations, instead promising to just make good decisions on the city's behalf. He also promises to be responsible when it comes to negotiating the Rowdies lease, where he could, in the future, find himself cutting a deal with his present boss, Bill Edwards.
And when I was mayor before, nobody ever doubted that I was going to fight for the city all the way.